Hi, everybody.
That can't be real.
Yeah, it can't be real. What's up?
Welcome to the big shoe.
Welcome to the post-credit show.
Welcome to the show.
I'm Nick.
I'm Tony.
Chris.
I'm Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Chris. And Nick.
Excellent.
We're all here.
We're here.
Still.
We are still here.
For
That's
your interest.
less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes.
Look at us go.
No, wait, maybe time because the time zones.
It was an hour.
Yes.
Yes.
I still remember that. That was one of probably my favorite jokes in Friends, where Joey was asking about. Chandler was supposed to be gone on like this trip across the country.
Yes.
But he faked it, and he was actually like in New York, and he's like, "Oh man, how did you get here from New York or on the other side of the country so fast? Time zones." And Joey's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, Joey.
That's one of my favorite jokes in that entire series. Welcome to the post-credit show. We talk about movies we watched, games we've played,
Another
things,
sort of nerd junk we've done.
nerd junk we've been through. We've done things.
Our chat's not working right now, so
Send us a tweet. Send us an email. Send us some.
Yeah, go old school. Snail mail.
Don't.
PO
No, you
box,
don't.
nothing. I don't know.
1 2 3 4
1, 2, 3,
5.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Sure.
Burbank, California.
Send it to Mickey.
Yeah, send it to Disney. We'll get it eventually. Maybe someone will pay attention to us then.
Welcome to the show. We'll talk. Let's get started. Who wants to? I'll go first. I had a weird couple of things that I've done. I watched Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, you did.
Oh boy.
That's a weird freaking movie.
I knew that. You know
That's
what?
a weird. Okay, so Dora the Explorer. I've never. Just to give you guys some context, I've never actually watched Dora.
Well, that's
the
unfortunate.
Explorer.
Hey, Ace Platinum's back on
Welcome.
this. We can see this chat. All right.
I'm not gonna look.
I can look that way.
My neck is not.
I got
that
you.
great for that. Dora the Explorer. Holy cow! This movie is weird, and because I went into this without seeing any Dora the Explorer. So literally the first thing that pops up on the screen is, it was like a disclaimer where it was. Just wanted to let you know, foxes are not swipers. We are never known to be swipers, and this is just misnomer spread around by wolves or whatever like that, paid for by the National Fox Association. I'm like, and I was asking my wife, I'm like, what does that mean? So apparently there's a character in the cartoon that's called Swiper.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really meant for kids? And we're like, I guess so. And then like the first 5 minutes of the movie is little baby Dora, or baby Dora, Kid Dora and Kid Diego doing their adventure thing, and it does.
Do I go left?
Or
All right.
or it's like, what do you know how to say what was it, the word hungry in Spanish or whatever it is? It's like, do you know how to say this word? And she like points to the camera or looks at the camera. Everyone's like, what the heck? And of course it's Luis from Ant-Man. I can't remember the actor's name for it.
Yeah.
But he's like, she'll grow out of it. Like what's going? And so it's like that. It breaks the fourth wall multiple times of her like looking at the camera, and then of course there's
Swiper, no swiping.
Swiper. Exactly. I didn't know that was a thing. So I'm like, he actually stops when you say that, and that makes sense because that happens multiple times in the movie where he'll swipe something.
There's an actual fox.
There's an actual animated fox in this movie.
Human fox?
No,
Fox
animated, like CG animated.
Like it looks like a human.
Yes.
It stands up on two legs.
Yes. With a mask.
Yeah, they definitely gave this movie, like, even from the trailers, you're like, they
did a cartoon, or the movie based off of the cartoon.
Yeah.
There's a scene where she's all grown up and she's still doing her adventure thing, and she's like swinging through the forest, and she comes up across this frog, and it's like this yellow frog. It's a poisonous. This is a yellow poisonous, blah blah blah. The frog. Can you say neurotoxic poison? I'm like, wait, did she just look at the camera and asked if I knew what neurotoxical poison
That's
was?
what actually drove me nuts about that cartoon show, because I would watch it with, like, my nephew or something like that, and it's just like, should that, it's like, is the box on my left or my right? And like even my nephew, who is going like the right, and she's like, my left or my right? Like, you can see my nephew visibly getting upset because she's not listening.
I will say, though, that doesn't happen, like, too many times in this movie.
Which is good, because you don't want it to happen 800 times.
Correct. It's
the whole movie. Should I go left or right? Press your button on your scene thing now.
Oh,
Yes.
Pick your own adventure.
Pick your own adventure movie.
You can't say that. You
can't say choose your own adventure.
That's it.
I can pick my own adventure.
I'm always picking my own adventure. Yeah, so this movie is very meta.
It's good.
It knows that it's a Dora movie, but it also knows that it's an adventure movie. So there's so many scenes where it's like, oh, they're now trapped in a box, and she pulls out a knife out of her bag. Oh,
Yeah.
good, Dora brought a knife to the field
that
trip,
was-
guys.
that was in the
And
trailer.
I'm like, oh, she totally did. Or like the swiper scenes where he would swipe a map, and they'd be chasing her or him through this like hangar, and someone says apparently Swiper knows Swipey, and he like stops in the middle in the air. I'm like, what's going on in this movie? There's a drug scene. There's a
Excellent.
straight up drug scene in this movie where they get hallucinations.
They lick the frog.
Yeah, probably.
It's not too far off from that. And I don't know if you guys are gonna actually
No.
watch this
No.
movie or not. But there's during the drug scene, they are animated like the show,
Sweet.
and there's so many scenes that it doesn't make any sense. Where she's like, I'm gonna make this jump.
Does it make sense to you?
No, because I've never watched the show.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, I'm less like, what's going on here? Like I know it's drawn like Dora. I've seen Dora. I've seen Diego. I know how this show looks like, and it's them jumping this gorge in animated when in reality, like someone just slapping her awake because she's just took this massive hallucination drug. I'm like, what's going on?
Good old licking the frog.
Oh my god, it's so weird.
Don't do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay, so do we recommend Dora?
I actually do, only for the fact that it's
Oh,
just
thank you.
it's just it was morbid curiosity, I guess, more so
If I
than
ever have
anything.
children, sure.
It was just it's so weird. I wouldn't give this to kids to watch. It's more I think it's a movie for adults who
Had seen Dora earlier.
had
in
seen
the-
But that'd be
Dora
the
and then
thing
when
is
they're
that
kids
the
or
kids would leave to watch the show, and then it was.
which is weird because it's still meant for a movie for kids because it's very much
No, sure.
a family friendly movie.
except for the drugs.
Well, it's not like cocaine.
Damn it. The
I-
heroin.
Heroin.
I
Right.
understand now.
Super cocaine.
Yeah.
It's not heroin. It's super cocaine. It's
Super cocaine.
super heroin, super cocaine. So yeah, Dora the Explorer. It's a very weird Uncharted movie that does not include Nathan Drake. Weirdly enough, this
Yet still made it out.
exactly.
before
I was
the
just
Uncharted
I was
movie.
just gonna say this movie beat Uncharted out as an Uncharted style film.
Which is the funniest piece because Uncharted should be again the easiest movie
It's Indiana
in the world
Jones.
to make. It's
It's
in
in-
Indiana.
it's
Jones.
modern
I
Indiana
think
Jones.
it's Sony that's the issue.
It's
It is.
It is 100% Sony. It should not be hard to do an Indiana Jones style movie. Clearly, if Dora can do it,
Well, and Nathan
It's her-
Fillion already did a short of it, and it took like no
Fine.
time at all.
and
so,
it looked incredible.
and was all amazing. So,
Yeah.
and actually, Nathan Fillion right now is in like the best shape of his life since Firefly. So,
They just need to cast him in a movie, a Marvel movie.
yeah.
Give him all the
A
drugs.
legitimate role.
Not a dog or a blue giant alien.
Yeah.
Or-
Give him an actual role. Get him juiced up a bit. And,
So yeah, Dora was really cool, and then I went into a really deep, dark rabbit hole
excellent.
with Disney Plus, and I started watching Disney sequels
Good for you.
like back to back.
So did my wife.
Like we watched Little Mermaid 2.
I stayed downstairs.
Oh my God, Little Mermaid 2. Oh, have you guys seen Little Mermaid 2?
I don't want
no.
to.
No, you don't. Literally, like
I've seen a
there's
couple of them.
there's
but
an
I don't want
exposition
to.
line for
It's like Dora. I know what it is. I don't want to.
there's an exposition line for Sebastian that literally he just says, "Oh my God, look, it's Ursula's evil twin sister." Blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
I'm like, that's the exposition that they have in this movie. That great. This is, and that was like in the first 2 minutes of
Did
the
you
movie.
guys watch the Cinderella sequels?
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We went to the Cinderella sequels. They basically just did Cinderella 1 all over again.
Yeah, but for one of the sisters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wait, the stepsisters
so
don't have to find love.
Cinderella.
Why?
So Cinderella.
They were
3,
evil.
Not
Cinderella 3 takes place after
There's
the
3.
Yes. Oh yeah. Two technically doesn't count. It's like short stories, I think.
Yeah,
From
it's
my
weird
understanding,
short
it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
So 3 is an actual sequel to Cinderella 1, where
The mouse falls in love with Cinderella.
no. So what happens is the step sisters, right?
Yes.
Whatever their
Yeah, they're
whatever their role.
stepsisters.
Yeah. They find out that Cinderella used magic to get her to where she is. And so they end up stealing the fairy godmother's wand, time traveling back to the first movie.
Yeah.
They time travel in this movie, and then they make the one girl, I can't remember her name.
Who cares?
Don't care.
No.
They make
One of the
her
stepsisters.
Yes.
they use magic to get her foot to fit into
The shoe.
the shoe, which they're like, I guess if the shoe fits, we'll take her. And then so Cinderella's like, What the fuck? I was the one. I danced with you.
I
And
don't
then,
think she used that language.
Yeah, it's a Disney movie.
you know what? It might as well have been. And so that's basically the entire premise is they're redoing Cinderella 1, except for the moment where the shoe fits, and then essentially
So what happens
Prince,
to
what's
Cinderella?
whatever his name's, Eric or Charming?
Charming.
Prince Charming. Yeah, Eric was
Eric's Ariel.
Ariel, yeah,
Yeah.
mermaid. Prince Charming ends up trying to marry one of the stepsisters because her foot fit, and they keep using magic to wipe his memory or send Cinderella away. Like there's an actual action chase sequence in Cinderella 3 in a pumpkin carriage. It is the weirdest experience. I'm like, this could have been taken out off of like Die Hard or something.
Thank you, Michael Eisner, for
Woohoo!
these lovely films.
There's
So weird.
like in retrospect, Little Mermaid 2 actually wasn't that bad.
Oh no, there's some of those sequels
Oh,
are.
yeah, I'm getting there.
The ones that
Cool.
I like
I'm excited.
Aladdin did well.
Aladdin was fine. I'm excited for Pocahontas too.
No, you're not.
Oh yes, I am. Oh yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
She splits from John Smith.
Really? So, yeah,
Pinocchio,
Cinderella.
too.
That
They never did a Pinocchio too.
He could become a fake boy again.
Oh, and that's what they do. That's every single sequel pretty much screws up
they rewrite the
the
original.
original.
movie.
Yeah.
Except for Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid technically really did.
Was her daughter, wasn't it?
Right.
Yes.
Who wanted to go back to them.
To the sea.
Yeah. So they redid the Little Mermaid in reverse.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In
I
that
have
case,
feet, but now I want fins.
Fins. They. Yeah. I think I like paused it in the middle and I yelled back to my wife. I'm like, this is like the reverse of Little Mermaid. She's like,
Yes.
yep.
Yes.
Except they added in like weird manatee and penguin characters.
Heck yeah.
Could have been literally cut.
Yes.
And
Their
from-
sequel movies, everything could have been cut. Again,
I'm
Michael,
trying to know.
this is the funniest thing about watching Disney history stuff is like Eisner was definitely a let's take everything that people loved and just make sequels and redo it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it, because that's where we're banking on is like he looked at nostalgia as we can bank on this by taking it and making sequels and releasing it and we're done.
Snow White 2.
I feel like there is.
I don't think they touched Snow White because that was like the first in color Disney. Ooh, maybe.
We have Disney.
We have
Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah,
We can
hold
figure
on,
this
guys.
out.
We have science.
So that's the
Internet,
piece
You
is-
don't need Disney Plus.
But Disney Plus will have it like in
Well, it
2
will
seconds.
literally tell us.
Um,
Snow White.
But yeah, like that's the piece is that's pretty much what they banked
No,
on,
there's no. There's nothing on Disney Plus for a sequel.
which means it doesn't exist.
So. Pocahontas, though.
Pocahontas, they're
to the
definitely
new land or
is
something
big-
like
yeah,
that.
because they go back to England.
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
essentially, he comes back, gets Pocahontas, goes back to the New World. John Smith marries one woman, and Pocahontas marries a different dude.
Tarzan 2.
Yes.
With his kid. Again.
Probably.
Maybe
They
it was his
did a
kid.
lot of.
I
kids
think
stuff.
I remember liking Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
the Aladdin
two
ones.
and 3 are like.
I think King of Thieves. I think actually remember
Two-
enjoying.
Three.
2 was
Yeah,
a
it
little
is.
off-putting because Homer Simpson was voicing the genie, and then they got Robin Williams back for the third one. But like all in all, like those sequels were
Yeah, those ones were probably
ones-
the most
yeah.
pretty
they-
good. And then they actually tied into
Well,
the
because 2
TV
made
show.
sense. We turned it into 4.
Right, and
Sure,
then I
he's
went
a
to the
genie
dark,
now.
and then I went to the dark, like the deep rabbit hole, of figuring out there is this weird mythology for Little Mermaid, where they released 1, they released 2, and then they had the TV show,
Yes.
which was like supposed to be like a prequel to the first movie,
Yes.
and then they released Little Mermaid 3,
Yes.
which was also a prequel, but
Yes.
so now it's like the split,
Yes.
origin
timelines.
story for Little Mermaid
Yeah.
into the first movie,
Yes.
because technically both are canon.
No, none of them are canon. That's the piece. If you actually go to Disney, none of the sequels count because that was one of my coworkers was complaining about Pocahontas 2, and she's like, I don't like this. Like John Smith is, like that's my Pocahontas is she
Yeah.
ends up with
John Smith.
John Smith, and I'm like, if it helps, like if you go to the parks in the parades, if Pocahontas is in the parade and she's dancing with her prince is John Smith. And she's like, oh, thank God. And I'm like, Disney ignores the sequels harder than the people out here. Like, we'll watch them because it's like, what's this train wreck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Disney's
Morbid
like-
curiosity.
Yeah, Disney's like, we ain't touching this. Mm-mm.
Mulan 2. Mulan 2.
Yeah, no.
I know I think that might be the bottomest of the barrels that I'm not looking forward to getting into.
What
So-
happened to?
in
I don't.
Mulan 2.
I don't remember.
Let's find a synopsis for Mulan
God.
2. And you guys can keep talking because we've got to
She
keep
becomes a
time going.
princess.
Well, she...
Sure.
Sure. Mulan 2.
Moving on to stuff that I actually enjoyed.
Mulan must complete a dangerous mission before marrying General Shang.
That sounds
Oh,
boring.
yeah.
Actually, that sounds not. The premise sounds okay.
After saving her nation from the evil Huns, the spirited Mulan gets the surprise of her life when General Shang asks for her hand in marriage. Before the wedding, however,
The
Mulan
strong,
and
independent
Shang
woman they marry
Yes.
her off.
I think
must complete a dangerous mission as they escort 3 princesses, Ting Ting, Mei, and Su, to a distant city. The future of China hangs in the balance when, in the middle of their journey, Mulan and Shang clash over their duties. Breathing
That
fire into all
pre-
this mayhem is the
the
mischievous Mushu, who wants to keep Mulan single as long as possible so he can keep his cushy job as her guardian dragon.
the premise of that sounds good, but I'm sure. And as with all Disney sequels, comes the execution. The animation in these are
Well, they shipped it out to China.
so bad.
They did.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
It's so the animation is so bad. Little Mermaid 2 was probably the most okay.
Sure.
The most okay.
Because they've
Yeah.
been working on the TV show. by
So and you can see in Cinderella 3 is probably the one that is the biggest grievance or biggest offender of this. Any characters that they added for the movie look like garbage.
Oh, sure.
Any of the original characters like the Godmother, Cinderella, the stepsisters, they look okay because they already had the original, I guess, designs for them. But
Yeah.
any of the new characters that they added specifically for these sequels are bad. They are bad looking.
Watch the Jungle Book 2 yet?
Hmm?
Jungle Book 2?
I'm getting there. I'll get there.
Yeah, because he finds the humans and joins the.
I get there. I'll get there.
Mowgli has been living in the village among the humans, including his little stepbrother,
Yeah.
Ranjan, and his best friend, Shanti. But the man cub still has the jungle rhythm in his heart, and he misses his old buddy Baloo, played now by John Goodman. When Mowgli wanders
good one.
back into the
I can do
wild,
that.
and Haley Joel Osment plays Mowgli in the new one,
Weird.
number 2.
Weird.
He soon finds Baloo isn't the only one waiting for him. The man-eating tiger, Shere Khan, is lurking in the shadows and planning his revenge.
Again?
Yes.
So they did the
Well,
first movie all over again.
Except now he has a girlfriend,
Okay.
because he brings Shanti with him.
Yeah. But that wouldn't work in the real life one because they killed Shere Khan off.
Did they?
Yeah, he fell off a tree
did-
into the fire.
What
Did
plot?
they?
Did they see a dead body?
He not dead!
I'm pretty sure he did.
Did,
Well,
you don't
according
see-
to the sequel,
not dead.
he not dead.
Stuff that I actually enjoyed this week.
Yes!
We watched Good Omens.
Oh, how's that?
Oh,
watched
that's so good. It is a British comedy show. It's basically the Terry Pratchett and
It's based on Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman and Terry
Yeah.
Pratchett's book, but it's a British take on that show or book.
Yeah.
It's basically if heaven and hell were to start the apocalypse, but someone fucked up. Essentially, the plot premise is that David Tennant's character, he's a
It's the
demon.
devil, yeah.
He's a demon
Yeah.
called Crowley, and the premise is that he was supposed to deliver the Antichrist to this church, or these nuns who are supposed to deliver the baby,
Yeah.
and do a swap between different boys. And so the Antichrist was supposed to go to this political dignitary's family, and he was supposed to start the apocalypse 11 years later. Well, in a switcheroo, the Antichrist does not go there. The Antichrist goes to this small country farm family, and it's just the most awkward British sort of in the wrong place at the wrong time misunderstanding comedy. And it is basically Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen and David Tennant just having this bromance comedy back and forth. It is so
Between
funny
an angel
between
and
an
a
angel, because Martin Sheen plays an angel named
Yeah.
Azaleus or something, Azalea or something. They just make up new angels
Yeah.
for
Sure.
things.
Yeah.
But they still have Michael, Lucifer.
Oh, yeah. You gotta have your big ones.
So they have the big ones in there, and it is so funny. It is just it's so good, and I don't think it gets enough rep.
Oh, it's been
I-
huge.
but-
Huge.
And of course, people are always talking is there going to be a second one? I'm like, I don't think there needs to be a second one. The way they ended, they could if they wanted to, but I don't think they need to.
The way that Neil Gaiman's shows go, I kind of hope not.
Yeah, they don't need to. They super don't need to. If you enjoyed,
Yeah.
if you enjoyed the
I ever read someone.
the what's that book and the Netflix show, A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's where there's a narrator, and they're talking about like different things that's happening in the entire world, and narrating things throughout the world. It's super fun. It's super hilarious and just super awkward.
Yeah.
But it's a fun awkward comedy. Everyone needs to watch Good Omens.
It's on my
It
list of
is.
stuff.
It is on Amazon
it's
Prime.
on the list. But that list is huge, so.
Yep.
And the nice thing about Amazon Prime ones that from the original pieces that I've seen so far is that they're only like 6 episodes, so it's not super long.
Yeah, but that's the same with
It's not like
That's
Disney
just a British piece of thing.
Well,
but
I think
Disney and
isn't
Netflix are doing the same thing.
but isn't The Boys, isn't that only 6 episodes too?
8.
Was it an 8-episode
Yeah,
show?
they went with the streaming standard of 8.
Okay.
Hour-long stuff.
But Good Omens is very cool. It starts off in the Garden of Eden, where Michael Sheen's character,
Yeah.
he was supposed to guard the Garden of Eden, and David Tennant's character plays the snake and tempts Adam and Eve with the apple. It's so good, and so it's literally
Aziraphale.
Aziraphale, and so literally they have a monologue on top of the Garden of Eden, like, do you think it was okay that we did that? It's not. What's the worst? What's the worst that could happen? David Tennant's like, what's the worst that could happen? Jump forwards to like the apocalypse. I'm like, oh, okay. And it just shows them growing their relationship between time, because there's an episode which shows them in Rome, one in like the medieval times, one in in the 70s when there's like one of them on drugs, high on drugs. It's actually really, really cool.
Which one?
Yes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Cocaine.
I highly recommend it, 100%. And then I played some more Pokemon. I finished the main campaign.
Excellent.
I'm into the post game now, which I've got some, I don't want to say issues with the post game.
I've heard there's
from the ending, because the ending of Pokemon Sword and Shield, there is something building up. There is a main story that's happening, but all the times you get, like, your character and your rival character get close to what that story is, they go, no, you got to keep going with your gym challenges. You got to go, get the gym badges. Like, we'll take care of this. You don't worry about it, until you get to like the last gym and the last like the league challenge, league whatever. Yeah. It's like, oh, by the way, we have this entire plot here that we're gonna do for you, like with the ending of Galar, blah blah blah, like the destruction of the world. Solve it, and I'm like, but you kept telling me to get gym badges. What the hell? So you can definitely see that the story is meant for kids still. It's very tailored towards that audience.
Yep.
The post game is actually really cool. They have introduced 2 characters that I think it's good in storytelling that they make me want to hate them. Like, I just want to punch them in the face.
Yeah.
Well, because the last few Pokemon games, even your rival is...
Oh, Hop is actually underrated. I think I really enjoy Hop.
Well, but they're for your friends.
Yeah.
Not like Gary was a... Or Blue was a dick.
Blue was a dick.
But he was
And you
your
were-
friend.
Blue
Yeah.
was not your friend.
Blue was
he was
not.
your rival the entire time.
He was
like,
100.
You wanted to
Smell
kick
you
Blue.
later.
Yeah, like you
Smell
wanted
you
to
later.
kick the junk out of Blue every time you
With
saw
Hop,
him.
though, it's a little bit different because he is the current league champion's brother. So he has his rivalry with you is, I want to beat you so that I can beat my brother. And so that's where his rivalry is. It's actually really a lot different than How.
Yeah, 'cause
from
How is
Sun Moon.
useless.
How was useful. Like, he was a rock. No.
But then don't call him your rival.
How?
Like, give me a rival, and give me the friend. Like, I'm cool with the friend character, but like, give me that one person where I'm like,
They balance
you son of a.
Yeah,
know.
you're not gonna get you're not gonna get that anymore from the
I know.
Pokemon company. That's not the culture that they want to.
It's unfortunate. I want to hate
promote.
someone
And they give you
and kill their Eradicate.
you definitely have that in the post game.
Kill him and
You do.
knock him out.
You totally killed Eradicate. Yes,
Knock
it's
him
not
out.
official, but it's
Okay.
very.
So that's the piece in the first game.
So there's a
when you get to Lavender Town.
before
he's all-
before you get to Lavender Town,
Yeah.
you encounter the rival, and he has Eradicate in his team, and of course you knock him out. And so the next time you see him is in Lavender Town,
Yeah.
and if you remember what Lavender Town is the cemetery.
Cemetery.
Yeah, yeah.
So you encounter him there. He was like, "Oh, I was here to put one of my friends away, blah blah blah," and you see him walk away. The next time you fight him,
no Eradicate.
no Eradicate. That's the theory.
Yep.
Is that you
killed his
you messed his Eradicate up.
Hard.
Theory.
And
Theory.
to the point where you see him in the cemetery, he doesn't want to even fight you.
Yeah. Because you murder his Pokemon.
It's nuts. It's so great. I love that theory.
Either way, but yeah,
But yeah,
so you're
like
having fun with the post game stuff.
Oh yeah. So the post game stuff, it's introduces a little bit more of the legendary Pokemon on the covers. So Zaxxon and Zamazenta, depending on which version you get, obviously is the legendary you're gonna catch. But it's introduces two really annoying NPCs that I really want to just punch in the face.
Excellent.
And I think it's a good storytelling.
Yes.
At that point, you don't want to write characters that I love. You also it's difficult to write characters that you hate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're doing very, very well for that. And then I picked up a game on the Epic Game Store. My very first Epic Game Store purchase.
Excellent.
Superliminal. It's by a very small. I spelled
not
it.
what that
I spelled it. I wrote Supernatural.
You did, but that's cool.
Yeah. Superliminal. It's a game about forced perspectives. In the first 5 minutes of the game, it already gave me a headache. And so essentially what happens is it's a Portal-esque game where your character is put to sleep in this sleep therapy session. And in your dreams, you can control forced perspective objects. So for example, if you pick up an item in front of you and you kind of shift overwards and you drop it, it becomes larger as forced perspective goes.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the puzzle solving, part of the portal elements of trying to get out of this place of like, am I in this dream reality? I'm trying to wake up.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain in words what superliminal is, how you experience it. But like my first 5 minutes, if you're not ready for it, you definitely get a massive headache because it's like how does forced perspective actually work, and it's playing with your mind and how
You wave your hand.
Wavy, wavy.
it's yeah that's unfortunately
That is
you
how the
can't
force works now.
midichlorians.
Yeah.
Midichlorians.
And throw them up in the air.
Midichlorians.
Yeah, baby.
Midichlorians.
That was a six.
And then fly through space. Fly through space and teleport objects through space and time.
Yeah.
Superliminal, and I got it for like $4, so I'm like, this is a cool Portal-esque thing because you have a narrator that's trying to help you out, but then you also have a sort of evil entity.
Yeah.
Not so much evil, but just trying to keep you in this dream state, kind of like GLaDOS used to do.
Yeah.
In their old Portal games, where it's like, escape is futile. We'll just keep you doing testing, and so this voice is like, you've overcome all of our obstacles. I guess we'll have to give you some more obstacles for you to solve to keep you in this dream state. And it's the tech behind it is very wild because it plays with forced perspective. You can have a small block on the table, you can pick it up, turn around 180 and drop it, and then it is 10 times its size.
Yeah.
It is very cool, very mind fucky kind of. It's super cool. And then the last game I played with you, so we can move on to
We're
someone else.
tying it to me, I guess.
We can if you want.
Go!
Well, it was really quick.
It was very quick. I'm surprised how quick it was.
I told you it wasn't going to take long.
Well, no, we took a while to get the second one. We played Far Cry 4
Yes.
Well, yeah.
for
get
5
to
seconds.
that. Not 5 seconds. It was.
What felt like 5 seconds.
I knew it wouldn't take long. I told you it was like 10 minutes.
I remember. I don't know why I stopped playing that game. That game's really good.
No, it's fun.
Yeah, that game is super fun.
Well, it
The
is.
driving is annoying as shit, but
Yeah.
other
Really?
than,
I
other than
had the
driving,
same issue.
Yes, he did.
other than the driving part,
That's why I was
Super
laughing
fun.
at it.
because the first 5 minutes is me trying to figure out how to drive again. I'm like, oh, it's warthog controls.
Mhm.
I hate warthog controls.
Yep. left.
Everything is tied to the one analog stick.
Yep.
Not
Pretty
just.
So if you look right to go take a shot, and you don't know where you're driving.
You're literally looking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
we got it.
We got me.
We
a
got you
plat-
there.
We got me a platinum.
We got there.
So we did. All we did was take over a camp, which was super easy.
Yeah, you were like, and I think your first thing was, do we do a stealthy or do we shooty? And I was already like shooting people. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, shoot.
Well, we could do it either way. You just have to wait for the alarms to go off
Yeah,
and
fuck,
then
screw that
kill
noise.
everybody off. And
Well, there's 2 of us with guns. What's the worst that could happen?
we got downed.
You did.
You got downed early.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. At one point, you did get downed.
I don't think I.
Yes, you did.
I don't know.
You Far Cry Ford.
We played Far Cry 4.
We'll
and,
agree to disagree on if you downed or not.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we had to drive around till we found an enemy vehicle, and that I was in the passenger seat, and I had to jump over.
Hijack him.
Oh, okay.
It was-
Which, like I said, the longest part was waiting for Tony to
Figure out the driving.
figure out the driving, which they say.
Which again, we've had that discussion before, where you hate the driving. So
I mean, you get used to it after
And I mean,
a
like,
while.
yeah,
but-
it's once you understand that up is always forward,
Yeah.
and there's no button to press for acceleration. It's just on the left analog stick.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. Hopefully, it encourages you to play the game again.
It's still on my PlayStation,
There you go.
and I probably can have it for like a million weeks.
Yeah, no one's gonna want that game. You got
It's
five
a little
out.
old. It's a little
You got
old.
5 out, but I platinumed that, so
yeah, you did.
that was the goal, and we accomplished the goal.
We got there. We got there.
Also, in the same day, because I decided to, why not? Because I was near the end of it, anyways.
Yep.
I platinumed the Order 1886.
Super easy. That's an
There you
easy
go.
one. That's an easy platinum though.
Well, it is. Well, the
It's
hardest
very-
part, and I mentioned this last week, was there's collectibles, but there's like 3 different types of collectibles. They only tell you where one. You can only identify where one set is. The other ones you have to actually go through and
Check all the places.
check
Use a
everything until you get to.
Yeah, use a sheet and go like, okay, checked.
Old
and checked,
school.
And checked and checked.
I just
yeah.
watched YouTube videos of each chapter.
But that's
That
what I
was-
mean. Like,
And not every
How did
chap-
you enjoy that game? That's a cool game.
It was, the story was good.
I loved the story. It's
I
disappointing
I
that
kind of wish there was more.
there won't be anymore.
no, because it didn't do well enough.
It did not.
The gameplay, yeah, the story was good. It was
The gameplay was
that threw
very
me off.
Because
standard.
even how they
very generic.
how they said it with like obviously they're naming knights after the Round Table people,
Yeah.
but those people because of the Fountain of Youth or whatever they had, the Holy Grail,
Holy Grail.
they could live for extended periods of time, so you could keep going throughout
Who put
time.
that game out?
Santa Monica.
Oh, that's weird. I guess they ended up wanting God of War more.
I think it was Santa Monica.
And that was such a weird game because they released like the trailers for it. And it's like this.
It was one of those games that like it's the PlayStation 4 or 3 can't do that kind of game.
Yeah.
And it looked good.
Yeah, it was like
was good.
It was like Killzone 2 effect, where it's like they put the trailer out and then they had to live up to the trailer.
Yeah. Which was unfortunate because the gameplay was kind of it, but the story was cool.
Oh my god, the
And I
story!
didn't
yeah.
finish the story, but like because I couldn't. I'm like, okay, gameplay's okay, and then
Yeah.
you
Where
play
are you?
something.
Because you're probably like an hour away from finishing it.
Probably.
It's not actually a very long game.
No.
No.
But that's the piece is like I just kind of got bored, and then like you play something like even Uncharted 1 because I went back to the original collection.
Yeah.
It's like this is fun, like this
It's
is a
free now.
game, and
And I
It's
think
free now.
yeah,
Well, it's also
whatever.
free, but like
Yeah,
it's
I paid like
the-
$10
the-
for it.
the colors didn't help that game, or lack thereof didn't help that
In
game.
order?
And yeah,
I didn't mind the art style.
No,
it was a little dark and a little gray and a little.
But it was meant to be because
But
it was
it
was.
steampunky
It
and this
was.
and that and everything.
So
Like
it-
I
it-
understood
it-
that part. It was legitimately just like
That you could travel through time with this. There were so many.
yes,
Yeah,
and they definitely
possibilities with
the ending they definitely leave up to like we definitely wanted to do more. Oh, you guys want God of War instead? Okay.
you mean no one bought this game?
Yeah.
Okay,
I did eventually.
It's totally
but that was
worth it.
everybody was
to easy
eventually bought
platinum.
it. Yeah.
Easy platinum as well.
So
Other
I think
than
I'm
the
at
collectible piece.
30 now.
Woo.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just getting trophies for whatever I get in my
I don't
PlayStation.
know. Well, that's kind of the other one I have. I kind of dabbled in some Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Excellent.
I played the first level. Did a bit of that. That was just following the Guardians, and then
You were at 30 platinum.
Sweet.
yeah,
So cause for celebration.
no,
And
not really.
3,646 bronze,
Yeah.
884 silver, and 200.
That's the thing about the order. It was loaded with golds and silvers. It was.
It was
Awesome.
an easy platinum or easy trophy piece.
Oh yeah, it really boosted
Jesus
up fast.
Cristo. I have 1 platinum.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Everyone platinumed that game.
Yep. That's the one I've platinum.
Except for Brian. Brian actually hasn't because he
No?
doesn't want to.
Oh.
Because he doesn't want to feel like he's obligated to.
You
do
have
it.
a good time though.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah,
with those.
you-
But that was his thing. Is he would if he started? I think that's what he said. Is if he started platinum things, he's gonna want to do it with every game.
Oh
No,
yeah.
come
Well,
on.
that's what did him in. You're at 6 platinum.
Well, I can name my platinums, but the only I
Well,
get a platinum for a game that I want to get.
Because
a
I'm part
platinum
of that Reddit group with the trophies and that they post all their platinums all the time, and they actually came out with a little.
for. I have
Picture.
Uncharted 2,
And I've created
Rock
my own
Band
picture.
2, Terminator.
Never.
It doesn't put them in lists in order, so we'll never know.
I want to say a
Depends how
Walking
many
Dead
games you
game.
have. I have 248.
Walking Dead
Yeah,
game, and
Tony's-
then I don't know what the 6th one is.
Tony's rented so many. There's
Meh.
no chance of.
No, you're not gonna find it.
And the other game, the final game I played, I just finally caved. and did The Witcher. Or
Yeah,
The Witcher
you
again.
did. You're helping the statistic.
Yeah, I finally caved.
It's
on
a
that.
good game though.
I've passed where I was.
Yay! So,
I did it differently though.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, because the part I don't know if you guys remember the game, if you played the game or whatever.
Yep.
Part I got stuck at was the dead fetus.
Yep.
Part.
Dead fetus part.
Yep.
I don't know if I got to that part.
It's not very far in.
Okay, then probably I did.
You work with the Bloody Baron, and he has.
Oh yeah. I remember
And
that.
his,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, I remember
unborn
that.
child.
Now that you're talking about it, yes.
Well, the first time I did it, I fought it, and I was having issues with my weapons breaking.
Yep.
And I couldn't finish that fight, so I kind of gave up on it at the time. This time I took let's try to turn it to a nice thing. Instead of fighting it, do
I think that's what I did.
go the other way. It's easier.
I think that's what I did too.
It's an easier fight.
That's a good looking game.
It is a good looking
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Still, and it came out a few years, 5 years
Well,
ago.
and again, that's one of those games where because if you play it on like a Super Specto PC, that game is phenomenally gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
The
built
hair
that,
tech behind that game is a nut.
But that's what I mean. Like they built that
Nightmare.
game to be
Looks bad.
absolutely gorgeous, and then toned down per system and per whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
So like again, smart programming, because it's like, let's make this game so it will play in 8K one day, but at the same time we can also.
Oh, we
run
forgot
it
some
on-
Nintendo Switch news. No, I think about it out loud. Because there's reports of a Pro Switch model coming out.
Woo!
Yay.
But I mean, that comes online with like Red Dead coming to the Switch as well. But
Yeah.
that's a different piece. Anyways,
But yeah, it's a fun game.
It's
I'm
a
finally
good-
getting like into the groove. Maybe it's just me being a little more mature, I guess.
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know, or just taking my time with it, not trying to rush it.
it's a patience game.
You gotta, and from what I understand, you really gotta do the side quests. You can't
Yes.
just keep following the story because you're not gonna get anywhere with that.
No.
Or experience.
Or
enough.
yeah, you need experience.
Oh yeah, and so just doing that and just doing everything. Still trying to figure out that combat.
It's very, isn't it like Batman?
Well, no,
If I remember?
no. It's
Where it's like you have to like
essentially what I'm doing is smack with my fast
What?
attack.
Oh,
Dodge.
dodge.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just-
Smack, dodge back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Dark Soulsy.
Oh, Dark. So that's I guess more.
but I don't get restarted all the way back to the start where I was.
Yeah.
Dark
No, but the
Souls.
combat's Dark Soulsy. Like it's the rolling to dodge and.
It's very methodical. Everything's
Yeah,
got.
you have
everything's
to
got
time
weight.
everything. Yeah, you have to time everything.
Well, when their name lights up real quick, you hit the dodge back,
Yeah.
and you can dodge what they're doing.
Yeah. No, I like the combat more in The Witcher than I do. Like Dark Souls is very like
It's very
pray to
different.
God as you're rolling that like you're actually dodging the right attack.
Or even worse, like rolling into a section and then getting stabbed by a mimic.
Correct. So.
But yeah,
Witcher.
It's getting there. Like I
Excellent.
said, I've passed where I was now, so
I don't want to be part of the statistic that
Win.
says they went into The Witcher after watching a show.
I haven't
It's a
watched
good
it yet,
show,
so
though.
I can start playing The Witcher and then start watching the show. And
I
maybe
hear
we
the
can
show's
reverse
amazing.
I
It
heard
is
the
a good
show's
show.
good, too.
you
I
should
just-
probably
I-
watch that.
It's again on my list of shit to watch.
I got to it because
How many episodes?
it's
8.
8. Okay.
pretty much all hour.
Oh,
They're varying times, but,
But,
they're
like,
all
it's
around. They're average
40,
around
45 to 60 minutes.
47 is the lowest, and the
Oh.
biggest is like an hour and 11.
Yeah.
Oof.
Average is to an hour.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's worth it.
Oh, I can.
The only thing I would say about that though, and all this Witcher stuff, is I don't know the history behind them. Like I don't know what happened in 1 and 2. I don't.
Don't worry.
I don't
about
think
it.
you need it.
Yeah, you don't.
Well, I know you don't need to, but they're making references where I lost my memory. When did this happen?
Don't worry about it.
That's essentially for an entry point. Is I have no idea what happened before me.
Well, no, it wasn't even like related. It was like because at first you're trying to find Yen.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you talk with her, and it's you fell in love with someone else, and it's only because you lost your memory.
Yeah.
And that guy don't get that reference.
Yeah, you're cool. You don't.
Those games are kind of old
Yeah.
now.
Well, they're 5 years old.
No. 1 and 2
Really old.
are
Yeah,
old.
older.
1 is horrendous to play, even if you play like the remastered edition or whatever. Like man.
Challenging.
But, yeah, I think that'd be my only thing
Eh.
with that is I don't know enough.
I think there's.
And, yeah, I've heard
You could
even-
probably just do it on YouTube and just get a
I've
recap.
tried, but they're diving into 3, and I don't want to dive in
Oh.
to 3.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
no like before you need to start.
Well,
with
yeah, they
three.
have, but there's some of the scenes they have are from 3, and it's like
I think you're fine. There's so many things in 3.
So long.
Well, and I'm getting prepared for number 4, whatever that decides.
That's
to
not
come
going to
out.
happen.
No, it is. They've signed a deal with
Yeah,
the guy. with
the author. signed-
Really?
Yeah.
After everything that
After
they've...
everything.
After everything,
so
then?
clearly there was a lot of money exchanged because that
Oh.
was
Yes, he signed a deal with CD.
Or a
Projekt
better deal, maybe.
because that was his biggest issue was
Because he, apparently, according to him, he got a shit deal.
well he got because he wrote a very basic book that sold well in Sweden
Poland.
or Poland.
not,
yeah.
not here.
But not here. Like, so when they signed their deal, they're like, we'd like to buy the rights to your characters for a video game. And he went,
Okay.
okay. So, like, that's my thing with that one is they're like, we'll give you
It wasn't like
we'll give you $20. And he's like, cool, because no one wants my junk anyways. And then the video games took off. The books took off because of
the video game.
the game. And then the author was like, well, you owe me more money. And they're like, no, we gave you what we
what
told
was on
you.
the contract,
Yeah.
yeah. It wasn't, yeah, they gave him a lump sum or something. It wasn't,
Yeah.
It wasn't like a
But usually it's a
royalty.
lump sum
Right.
for a character that's not a huge character. Like
Right.
he
Yeah.
wasn't huge until
The video game.
The video
and now
games.
the TV show.
yes.
He is,
So now it makes sense if CD Projekt Red went to him and they're like, okay, we'll give you
More money.
more money this time. Like he's
And
yeah.
they're in talk. The
Okay.
rumor is they're in talks for 4.
Yeah.
So which would be obviously still a few years away, but
oh god,
coming from CD Projekt Red, yes. But
Yeah.
again,
well, they're
it's
working on
worth it.
Cyberpunk.
Right.
depends
Well,
on
that's what I mean.
Depends on
awesome.
what the post content for or post release
Cyberpunk
is
is, yeah.
for Cyberpunk.
That too.
You bet they're gonna have at least 2 expansion packs for that game.
That are actual expansion packs.
Yeah. Like just like Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Witcher.
Yep. And then the final thing I did was watch Jumanji 2.
How was
The next
the
level.
next? How was the next?
I want to
level
see that
of
movie so
Jumanji?
bad.
If you like the first one, you're gonna like the second.
Good. That's exactly what we expected.
Like I heard it was better than the first one. I think it was pretty much
On par.
On point.
Which I
With
mean,
what you were
you added
expecting.
some new characters in there,
New
some
characters.
games in there.
Yeah.
Well, because you have the grandparents coming in.
Yes.
Yeah, Danny Glover and.
But it's still it's
Well, I shouldn't say the 2
Not joking.
grandparents, the 2 older gentlemen
Yeah.
coming in as Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Right.
And now you have to.
And the game is-
we have to
so-
figure out where the other 2
I was
characters
gonna
go.
so the plot is that the game is on a Fritz, right? It's Fritzing
No.
out or something like that, or
No,
Okay.
that's it's just the next level. That's,
Oh, okay.
For the trailers, that's what I got. Was
Yeah,
that
that's
this
what-
game
that was
is
my
glitching out.
Yeah, that's what I
No.
thought.
This game's not glitching out. It's gone in a weird way.
But it's just the next.
It's the next
It's
phase
actually-
of the
as
game.
the-
It's evolved itself essentially.
Because the guy that came in the first one that just came up on the Dune, or not the Dune buggy, the NPC that gives you the mission. To
Oh
start
yeah,
you
yeah,
out
yeah,
and that.
yeah, yeah.
This time he comes on a plane, and the reaction is, "Why is he flying a plane?" And then they go flying a plane, and then they're dropped somewhere else.
The next level.
The next
Essentially,
level.
Okay.
Cool.
yeah, it was good. That would be my only thing is I was promised glitching.
Yeah.
There wasn't
Yeah.
glitching.
Yeah.
There was only the only glitchy thing was there was water that could change the characters around.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. Yeah, cool.
well, for a,
Cool.
they experienced it, and it's not really story
Yeah.
driven at that point, where because the football player is now Jack Black,
Okay.
Ha.
the girl
blonde or-
Roundhouse
okay,
Roundhouse
redhead.
still she
Ruby
stayed
Roundhouse.
with her
Cool.
character,
Yeah.
but they go into the water and then they hands and they
They
go
swap.
apart and they switch, and so the football
There's a
player
lot of like
is-
Freaky
Freaky
Friday
Friday, yeah.
going on here.
the
Oh,
football
God.
player now becomes the Roundhouse,
Yeah.
and she became Jack Black, so Jack Black is becoming
All the girls.
yep.
Yep.
That's
All the
in his
girls.
contract. You need Jack Black. We need you to only be the girl character.
Only be the female character.
But no, he
yeah.
was the football player.
He was the football
freaking.
player
He
for a while.
talks like the football player too. Like, come on, I'm this guy now.
Yeah.
And they added little bit different abilities for everybody else. They added an extra thing on there.
More cake.
Nice. More.
More cake.
Extra.
Well,
versions.
Dwayne Johnson actually has a
Now it's
weakness
pie.
now.
Now it's pie. Pie.
See, the game did glitch.
And it's evolving.
Yeah.
It's evolved.
Uh,
Oh, it's like evolved. Oh, no, that's terrible for
Yeah,
that game.
And you got what's her face? I don't know her name. The Roundhouse.
Sure.
Whatever.
Oh, Karen Gillan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she played the football player.
Nice.
Had to talk like him. First thing I did, where she makes a comment from Jack Black, is you better not touch my boobs.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I did. First.
Honestly, if you were a guy who got swapped into a girl, that's the first thing you do.
They. I still remember they did a Two Guys a Girl in the Pizza Place when that was a television show. They always had Halloween episodes, and one of them was one of their neighbors was swapping people's like brains out in the basement because their Halloween episodes were always like wacky.
Yeah.
And that was Ryan Reynolds gets put into the body of the girl, and so she has to sit there and be like, and it's like, do not, like, you cannot go to the bathroom, you cannot do this, and he's like, like, and she's acting like Ryan Reynolds would as if they, and he's like, excuse me for a moment, please, and like, and he starts like, she starts running, so the Ryan Reynolds character starts like chasing her to be like, no, because essentially, yes, that.
Now, if you were a guy,
would, yeah, it's
pretty
like,
much for those video
Why
game
wouldn't you-
characters.
Yeah.
You have to really expand upon your
yep,
how
that's
you
cool.
talk and how you.
Yeah, no,
do
it takes
everything.
some
Kudos,
acting.
kudos.
Because
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson
How
happened
to
to be
act
Danny
as a
DeVito
different actor.
and talk like him
Yeah.
the entire movie.
Acting.
And Kevin Hart talking
Being an actor-
super
Danny
slow.
Glover, yeah, Danny Glover.
Oh.
talking to, he's a zoologist. He's trying to describe something, but he's talking super slow.
Yeah, doing
That's
the Danny
Danny.
Glover.
Yeah, he's talking super slow. It was good. It was good seeing all these.
It's cool to see the
all
actors
those
do that
things
kind of
and-
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
An actor being another actor is always challenging, and I will always
sure.
give you credit.
You
for
get the most kudos for being.
It's like
able to
acting
do
in
that.
an actor.
Yep.
Acting as an actor in a,
Yeah.
in a movie or whatever. Like it's
Cool.
that's what
Yeah.
was so cool about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But that's a different discussion.
But yeah, that's
Cool.
what I did. Go see
Um,
Jumanji.
Yeah.
I do want to see Jumanji too. Is it still in theaters? Do you
yes.
think?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe we'll do that.
Barely. It's not. It's going to be out soon.
It'll be out soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go tonight.
My wife and I watched Hustler.
How's
Which one is this?
Jennifer Lopez.
The one that's getting in trouble right now.
Why is it getting in trouble now?
The person it's based off is suing them
Oh, good for them.
because they didn't. It was
Didn't sign off on
misinterpreted.
it? Oh,
no,
well.
It was no. It was a bad.
Yeah, well.
They did things in the movie where it wasn't. She didn't do. And
If-
it's called a movie.
he
Yeah.
famed her character or whatever.
Well, if you signed off on it, you hooped.
I don't know if she signed off
I'm assuming she did before they made the movie.
Kinda have to.
Yeah.
on it. No, it was an article in a newspaper.
Yeah, well, that's what the movie's based on, is an
Yeah.
article in the paper. Because Julia Stiles plays the reporter who's writing this story about
she's
the
back
lady
doing
from
stuff.
Fresh Off the Boat and Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, I know.
She starts off at a strip club. She's not doing well. She has to pay money to all of these other people, and then she sees Jennifer Lopez go on stage and make like $8 billion in like one go. So it's like, well, how did you do that? So Jennifer Lopez takes her under her wing, but then there's the stock market crash, and so people aren't going to strip clubs anymore, and yada 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 yada. It's like it starts off as like striptease with Demi Moore, and moves into like a drug movie, which moves into like it's kind of all over the place, and everybody was like, "This is going to be an award winner," and I watched it going,
No.
maybe because I'm bored, that's why people thought it would be an award-winning film, because the acting's not bad.
Award boarded rams.
Yeah. So,
I'm bored of your award.
well, because usually the movies that end up winning these things are movies I've seen and go, yeah, okay, that was a...
Like I want to see 1917 at some point, but
I do, yeah.
I do, but I'll wait. Like that.
Yeah.
That's one where if I see it, I see it. If I don't, I'm not gonna like
no, exactly. Yeah.
be upset. But this one was supposed to be like up for all these awards, and then it wasn't. And then we watched it, and I'm like, oh, that was
Why was it up for awards?
this was a movie. So it was a movie. If
Not want to go see.
I would not
movie.
suggest it. Like we got it because we bought popcorn when we went to see Frozen or whatever.
Oh yeah, I still have a rental to do.
Like
too.
you have a month to use those things. So my
Yeah.
wife and I are like, oh, okay, well, like we wanted to both see it because again, we both heard good things about it. So
It was talked about in the zeitgeist. Yeah.
yeah, it was okay. Like
it was all right.
it's
It
an
was a
okay
film.
movie.
It
It's
was a
not.
film.
It's not blowing me out of the water. So Brian and I tried playing Raft.
Raft.
It's a survival game where you start on a raft.
Oh yeah.
So
Surprise!
You're on a 2x2 raft
Are you
in
sure
the
not
middle
a
of
boat?
the ocean.
Not a
Do you,
boat.
do you
No,
have to
no.
collect wood and build a bigger raft
You
and then
do.
go?
And have to-
Seriously?
yeah.
So how long do you have to wait for a piece of wood to?
So that's the thing is clearly like you don't get a big story because that's not what they're aiming for. But there's debris all over the ocean,
Yeah.
and you have a hook attached to a rope, like a bigger hook, and you are throwing it out into the ocean trying to pull stuff towards you,
Ooh, a
or
boot.
you're trying to like pick it up as it goes by the boat.
Yeah.
Ooh, a boot.
And yeah, you're slow. You can actually get a shoe. So you're trying to expand your boat as well as survive. So you need to build like a water filtration system because there's plastic and wood and all of this stuff in the water.
So weird.
It sounds like Waterworld.
Yes,
It sounds like Waterworld, the video game minus Kevin Costner.
pretty much. And you're on a wooden
no
raft.
merman.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
so like
no
that's
merman,
the
yeah.
pieces.
No mutants.
So you build the cooking fire, and then you build the water filtration system. And then you got to
On the
build
raft.
Yes, everything's on the raft.
Is it a wooden raft? Or
It's
is
a
it?
wooden raft.
Oh, you're starting a fire on your
Yes.
wooden
Can you
raft.
push your
That's-
partner off the raft and then take control?
We turned off friendly fire.
Damn it.
The other, because here's the piece: is there's also a shark that stays in your vicinity all the time, and at random intervals bites at your raft. And if you don't poke him away with a stick, he like eats that
raft.
section of the raft. So essentially, you have to build a buffer zone for your raft, and then
An armor zone or like a...
and you can add plating to it if you find ore, which
Barbed wire.
like we can't.
a metal shard.
So our
metal
biggest
strap.
part of this game was like eventually like
A sheet of
you hit
metal.
an island, and if your boat gets stuck on the island, you're somewhat okay because you can leave the raft and go explore like these tiny little islands.
Yeah.
But at one point, we were exploring an island, and I went back to the boat to like do some fishing and
What if
cooking.
the boat disappears?
Well, so this is what ends up happening is the shark attacks the boat, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, the shark ate part of the boat, and then I kept just doing something and not really looking up, and then I looked up and I went, Brian, we have an issue, because it had eaten the part of the raft with the anchor, so the
Yeah.
boat had slowly been like leaving the island.
Whoops.
So then Brian starts trying to chase the raft. I built a paddle and start like trying to paddle against the
Yeah,
waves.
Yeah.
Brian gets killed by the shark.
Oh.
I'm trying to find Brian's body because I can revive him. But as you're paddling, you're using your hunger, like you're using your energy, so you need to eat. But if I stop to eat, the boat will push itself further away. So like we just
Wouldn't the body follow you though?
no, the body just.
There's so many questions here.
Oh, there's a lot. So Brian and I restarted like we do with most of our games because we're like, hey, we have a better understanding now. We'll do this first. We'll do that first. We actually got a 2-level raft because we built stairs on the raft and up
course
onto
you
the
did.
next level.
Of course you did.
We
You
managed
guys
to.
wait until they get the elevator.
Well, we managed to build a sail. Like we managed to build a sail. Like you can build, because the whole point is to get to the shark, you got to keep the raft small but tall.
Okay.
Because
Would throw it off though with balance.
no, you don't.
Can
have
you
to worry.
kill the shark?
Yes, we did.
All right, good.
But he respawns.
Oh.
So like you get reprieve for like 10 minutes, but
Their brother comes along.
yeah, exactly,
wants
and then just, like
revenge.
Jaws 2.
Oh, look,
comes
it's
along
Ursula's
and-
evil brother.
Exactly. So
Jaws 4.
the Revenge of Jaws. Yeah. So
Jaws more.
and then we got to this one point where we legitimately needed like one dry brick to do something with to like kind of keep going, and we couldn't find any of the stuff. Well, no, you have to find sand and clay and then mix them together and then put it on the boat to dry.
Yeah.
Do you have a furnace?
You can
It'll
build the
fire.
furnace with the dry bricks. So you need
Oh.
enough dry brick. That's what we were trying to build was like the furnace to do stuff with. And we just couldn't. And I'm sitting there going, so finally I look online. Because most of those games have like a console where you can like add 5 wood.
Yeah.
This game, the creator's like, I'm never doing that because then it's not a survival game.
That's
So
not
survive
wrong.
on your own. And I'm like, I get that piece.
That's
But for us who are just kind of having fun and need that one little thing to continue having fun, it's one of those pieces where it's like, so Brian and I finally were just like, because we killed the shark and then we floated aimlessly in the water for a bit more and we're like, this game is no longer fun because you're not building, because the only place to get sand is by those islands. The only way to get to an island is by happenstancely passing an island that
sounds
may
like
or
real-
may not have
Sounds like
sand.
real life.
Which is what the creator's like, well, that's what would happen. You're like, I get that, but this is also a
There's
game.
there's a lot of things that don't make sense in that game.
Sure. So,
The
Sharks.
metal would sink to the body and you would never get any metal.
right. Well, no, the metal's either in barrels or it's on the islands. No, they're wooden barrels. They float.
But the weight of the
No,
metal inside
no, buoyancy,
would weigh
man,
it
buoyancy. It's
down.
like a
Science.
boat.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like a boat. You can load a boat with metal stuff. It'll float. As long as it's an airtight barrel that I throw a hook at.
then puncture,
yeah,
and
puncture,
then
and
the air
then-
gets out, and then it sinks.
Wow. You guys are your hooks.
That's what's confusing me.
It's a very
And
confusing
then
game.
with the furnace, wouldn't it weigh the raft down?
the
No,
bricks.
There's
it's the
pontoons underneath. It's fine.
There's no pun.
Yeah, you
What
can
did
build them
you-
out of plastic.
That's how Raps. I've watched.
So many things here.
Survivor, not Survivor. Tom Hanks. Castle. I've watched
Castaway.
Castaway. I don't know if this works.
I've been playing more Final Fantasy
Did you-
9.
Sorry, did you find a Wilson?
No, we did not find a
Damn it!
I found a lucky cat with
No.
the paw.
No, it has to be a ball.
Yeah, a ball, and then when he has to bleed, and then
I was fishing, hoping for fish, and I pulled out a stupid golden lucky cat and went.
eat it.
Where are you guys?
They-
Where are you guys?
They
That
don't
doesn't
tell
make
you.
any sense.
Atlantic
that,
Ocean.
Yeah.
that has a lucky cat.
I know, and a sneaker that I planted a plant in, and a seagull ate.
That sounds about right.
Played some more Final Fantasy 9.
Eh.
It's a.
Not
I enjoy it.
Not my favorite one, but
I enjoy that one.
I respect it, but I don't enjoy it.
Well, it takes me back more to the old Final Fantasy games as opposed to 7 and 8.
And it's. Are you playing on the Switch?
Yes.
So it has the fast forward,
Which is nice.
The healing buttons, like yeah. Okay.
The only problem to the healing button is it's also attached to like the trance button, because this is instead of the gauge going up.
Limit gauge.
Yeah, thank you. Instead of that gauge going up, this one is the same thing, but then your character transforms.
Yes, that's right.
But then the character transformation takes time. So essentially, if you want to get your health and MP back, you pause it, you hit the button, and then hit it again to turn it off. So it'll increase their HP and MP, but it won't trance them, because otherwise it puts them into trance, and you have to sit there watching like this animation for 30 seconds, or you can speed that up. And
I was just gonna say you can have the speed up.
You can. It's kind of I'll stop. I'll give myself some health and some MP depending on what battle I'm in, and then like if I'm just grinding, instead of using potions and tents, I'll just heal myself, because it's like I could do the same thing regardless. So Mega Man, I have now all of the Legacy collections as well as 11. So Mega Man Legacy Collection 1, 2, Mega Man X Collection 1 and 2, and so I've kind of just been hopping around all of the Mega Man games. And then I bought Mega Man 11.
Have you beat any of them?
Yeah.
Mega Man X1 I've beat, because I've beaten that one before, so I know
What to do?
I know all the steps.
Yeah.
Mega Man 1 I tried playing, and
Good luck.
God.
There's
I
a
know.
reason why those games.
I've done that.
I know.
There's a reason why those games have that
Oh, yeah.
infamy.
So yeah, no, like they're stellar games for what they are, because yeah, and they're fun. I enjoy them, but yeah, they're nigh impossible, those early
Oh
ones.
yeah. Do you have any sort of like save state stuff on those collections?
No.
You can rewind.
You
In
you
one.
restart the level over again, don't you?
You can rewind. There's a rewind button. So like if you miss
Yeah.
a jump, you can
Okay.
and then do it again.
Okay, so there is some form of like save state rewind piece.
Sort of,
Some
yeah.
Persia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mega Man Prince of Time or
Oh
whatever.
man, Prince
Sands
of Persia needs to come back. Oh man.
Ubisoft
Yeah, it could
won't.
now. Ubi.
I would be very okay with
They're
that.
too busy with Assassin's Creed.
I know.
Assassin's Creed Sands of Time.
Yeah, you laugh about that. That would
Oh,
work.
it'll come. Don't worry.
That would work. That would
yeah.
totally work.
And then I dabbled in some Star Wars Battlefront 2 last night, because I did their anniversary collection one on sale
Online or story?
online. So the anniversary collection went on sale, which was really cool, because for like $23 you unlock everything now. So like all the armors,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I played the heck out of this game. I bought it for $5. Have another 23. Because they've been working so hard at improving that game. So now I spent most of last night going through and just changing all of my armor to all of the new armor that I got.
Did you play any?
I played one match, but that's pretty much all I had time for after that, because I'm like, I'm getting sleepy. It'd be like I kind of want to get back into that one.
Can those players play with the other people?
Yeah,
It's all the same maps. All you're
You just
buying with
buy
that
as unlocks.
$23 is all it unlocks, all the poses, all the
What
costumes.
if I have most of them already?
Then don't buy the $23. Yeah.
I have a good portion of them.
Well, then you're
all the
you have to
characters
make
I pretty much have unlocked.
You have to have
The characters we pretty much all had unlocked, but like this is
You just have to make
like
that decision.
I have Yoda's robes now, so like the hooded up Yoda and
Yeah.
the Jedi cloak Obi-Wan Kenobi, and all of his poses and all of his emotes and all of that stuff.
Because
of
normally
the
all that stuff used to
Stormtrooper
be
armor.
unlocked.
Yeah,
by
like you
leveling
had
up.
to unlock it by leveling up and getting chests and all
Yeah,
that stuff. This is now like I have every clone trooper armor available in the game. I don't have to spend any credits on unlocking any of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
so And like I said, I'm like, we played that one enough where I'm like, here's the $23 for
So we're getting back in
fixing.
the
I can, yeah, sure, man, I'm down.
I don't know if it's installed on my system anymore.
So
Have to
You
check.
need to play Call of Duty, so
either way,
Eh.
that's what I've been doing.
that's what we've all done.
So and yeah, we've Call of Duty. I don't think I could. Did I Call of Duty this
We
week?
didn't
I don't
Call
think
this
I call. Yeah, we didn't Call of Duty this week. This week was
Eh.
kind of low. But yeah, there you go.
I just need to pick a game and stick with it because I'm playing Death Stranding and Control and Pokemon at the same time. is
Oh, yeah, no, my
very-
single
I'm
player
It's very
Legos,
challenging.
I'm
I'm
very-
playing the Lego game along with The Witcher.
Well,
Yeah.
that was my big push this last couple of days is finishing Pokemon.
I'm
So
Final
I can-
Fantasy 9ing, and then like I want to finish Star Wars.
I think I might actually finish the decks in Sword and Shield to get the shiny charm.
Yeah.
So I might actually
Yeah.
get that. It seems reasonable
There you go.
now that there's less Pokemon to try and catch. So
But there you go. That's our show.
we'll see you guys next week.
Yes,
Maybe.
maybe.
So we'll keep you updated.
Next week's a maybe. So
Yes.
stay tuned to our Twitter and
Social media feeds.
social media stuff to see what we're doing.
But meanwhile,
Yes.
share and like or comment. Share, like,
And hit up
subscribe,
BrNN.com.
smash
That way
smash
you'll
it.
find all the stuff.
Smash that website.
Bye.
See ya.